What if I told you that the dog breeds filling up shelters right now, the ones breeders barely advertise and pet stores never promote, are healthier, cheaper to own, and better tempered than the trendy breeds the pet industry keeps pushing on you? Most people don't know this, but the people who actually work in rescue, the veterinarians who see the vet bills pile up on French bulldogs and golden retrievers year after year, they've known for decades which breeds give you the most dog for the least money. And none of them are the ones you see on Instagram. Here's what most people miss. The purchase price of a dog is only a tiny fraction of what you'll actually spend. Dr. Julie Hunt, a veterinary contributor at Embrace Pet Insurance, puts the lifetime cost of dog ownership between $20,000 and $55,000. That means the real gold mine isn't the cheapest puppy. It's the breed that stays healthy, eats modestly, grooms itself, and doesn't send you to a specialist twice a year. And on this list, one breed is so healthy, it's been called one of the most resilient in the world. Another one can hit 45 miles per hour and then sleep on your couch for the rest of the day. You're not ready for that one. Hit that subscribe button, because every week we post videos that cut through the noise and show you what the people who actually know have always known about dogs, money, and smarter ownership. Here are 5 cheap dog breeds everyone ignores, but they're absolute gold mines, ranked from surprisingly affordable to absolutely steal of a lifetime. Number 5, the Basset Hound. The lowrider that costs less per month than your streaming subscriptions. Most people walk right past these dogs at adoption events because they don't look athletic, they don't look flashy, and nobody's posting Basset Hound highlight reels. That's your advantage. You can adopt one for $200 to $400, and even buying from a reputable breeder lands you between $600 and $2,500. But here's where it gets interesting. Monthly maintenance on a Basset Hound runs about $80. $80. That's food, grooming, and basic upkeep for a loyal, affectionate family dog that lives 12 to 13 years. Think about that. $80 a month. Average annual vet care sits between $200 and $500, and their short coat barely needs attention. The experienced breeders and rescue workers all say the same thing. The numbers don't lie. Basset Hounds are friendly, gentle, and famously good with children. They're low-energy dogs, which means they're not destroying your furniture or demanding 2-hour hikes. They're companion animals in the purest sense. Now, they can be prone to bloat and ear infections, so factor routine checkups into your budget. Here's how to actually use this information. If you've got a family, limited outdoor space, or you just want a calm, reliable friend who won't drain your bank account, the Basset Hound is purpose-built for that life. Why does everyone ignore them? Because they're not trendy. The pet industry pushes breeds that photograph well, not breeds that live well. And that Basset Hound sitting at your local shelter right now, probably listed for under $300, is waiting for someone smart enough to notice. Number 4, the Pitbull. The most available dog in America that nobody wants to talk about. Here's a number that should stop you cold. Approximately 1 million pit bulls are euthanized every single year. Not because they're bad dogs, because of stereotypes, overbreeding, and breed bias so deep it's baked into housing policies and insurance forms. The truth is something else entirely. Dr. Liza Khan, a veterinarian at Embrace Pet Insurance, says it plainly. Pit bulls can be sweet goofballs. They thrive in loving homes with plenty of attention, exercise, and mental stimulation. That's a veterinarian, not a marketing team. Every shelter worker who's spent real time with these dogs knows it. Purchase price from a breeder runs $500 to $1,000, but here's the thing. You almost never need a breeder. Pit bull type dogs represent a massive portion of shelter populations. Adoption fees run $50 to $200, and that typically includes spaying or neutering, vaccinations, and a full medical workup. Their short coats need brushing about once a week. Training comes naturally because they're intelligent and eager to please. They want a job. They want to work for you. Here's how to actually use this. If you want a loyal, athletic, deeply bonded companion, and you're willing to invest time in socialization and exercise, walk into your local shelter today. You'll find one. The reason they get overlooked is the oldest villain in dog ownership: reputation over reality. More than half of people surveyed believe pit bulls are just as safe as any other breed. The data has caught up. The stigma hasn't. And every dog sitting in that shelter right now is paying the price for a lie that probably lives in your neighborhood. If you're starting to see the pattern, if you're realizing that the most expensive dog isn't the best dog, and the cheapest dog might actually be the smartest choice you ever make, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It helps this reach people who are tired of overpaying for hype when the real goldmines are sitting in shelters and rescue groups. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you belong here. Number 3, the retired racing Greyhound. The 45-mile-per-hour couch potato that costs less than a pair of sneakers to adopt. This is the one that breaks people's brains. They see the word Greyhound, and they picture a high-strung athlete that needs a backyard the size of a football field. Wrong. Greyhounds are sprinters, not marathon runners. They enjoy short bursts of activity followed by hours, and I mean hours, of lounging. The racing world calls them 45-mile-per-hour couch potatoes, and that's not a joke. That's a lifestyle description. Organizations like the National Greyhound Adoption Program place retired racers for around $325, and that fee covers the dog already spayed or neutered, fully vetted, heartworm tested, all shots current, plus a collar and leash. Every rescue organization running these programs confirms it. The track record speaks for itself. These dogs come to you between 2 and 4 years old, already crate trained from the track, which means housebreaking is dramatically easier than starting with a puppy. They shed almost nothing. They're nearly odor-free. Their thin coats need almost zero grooming. They eat modestly despite their size, thanks to an efficient metabolism. And their lifespan runs 12 to 14 years, which is remarkable for a large breed. Here's how to actually use this. A couple of daily walks and some playtime. That's it. They adapt beautifully to apartments and smaller spaces. Greyhounds have lived such isolated lives at the track that they don't understand cars or street traffic, so leash discipline matters from day one. The reason they get overlooked is pure assumption. People see a racing dog and project a lifestyle they can't maintain. Meanwhile, the Greyhound is probably the most low-maintenance large dog on the planet, and there's one available through a rescue group near you right now. Number 2, the Rat Terrier, the president's farm dog that trains itself and lives forever. President Theodore Roosevelt kept a rat terrier named Skip, and that dog earned its keep every single day on the farm. These were working dogs bred to hunt rats, and that heritage gave them something no amount of breeding for looks can replicate: intelligence, hardiness, and an instinct to figure things out on their own. That saves you real money on professional training. A rat terrier puppy costs between $300 and $1,500, with most landing between $600 and $1,200. Annual maintenance runs $500 to $1,500. But here's the number that matters. The lifetime healthcare cost floor for breed common issues sits around $1,500. That's lifetime, not annual. Every veterinarian who works with these dogs regularly sees the same thing. The health record speaks for itself. They live 15 to 18 years. Read that again. 15 to 18 years. That's nearly double the lifespan of many popular large breeds, which means more years with your dog and more years of predictable, modest costs. Their short, smooth coat needs a weekly brush and an occasional bath. They eat about half a cup to 1 cup of dry food daily, which keeps food expenses genuinely low. Here's how to actually use this. If you want a small, energetic, sharp-minded dog that doesn't need a professional groomer, doesn't rack up specialist vet bills, and will be your companion for close to 2 decades. The Rat Terrier is engineered for exactly that life in whatever setup you're running, apartment or acreage. Why does everyone ignore them? Because they're not a designer breed. They don't have a celebrity spokesperson. They have 370 years of farm-tested, president-approved performance. And there's probably one available at a rescue near you that nobody's even looked at. Number 1, the American Foxhound. The founding father's dog that might be the healthiest breed on earth. This is the one. The breed that predates the United States of America itself, first arriving on this continent in 1650. George Washington personally crossed early English foxhounds with French hounds gifted to him by the Marquis de Lafayette, and that cross became the foundation of the American Foxhound. This breed has been in Virginia so long, it's the official state animal, and here's what nobody tells you about the American Foxhound. It's considered one of the healthiest and most resilient dog breeds in the world, fewer lifetime vet visits than other large dogs, lower maintenance costs across the board, a coat that only needs a bristle brush and baths only when actually dirty. The people who've raised these dogs for generations all confirm the same thing. The health record is unmatched. They are good-natured, tolerant, gentle, and affectionate without being needy. They get along with kids, other dogs, even cats. They love being part of a pack, which means they slot into family life without drama. They're so rare that they get confused for beagles in shelters and breed-specific rescues, which means if you find one, you're looking at shelter adoption prices, $50 to $500 for a dog whose bloodline was curated by a founding father. Here's how to actually use this. Exercise matters with these dogs. They need movement to stay well-mannered. But the payoff is a companion with 300-plus years of proven temperament, rock-bottom grooming costs, and a vet bill history that makes golden retriever owners weep. Whether you've got a yard in the suburbs or acreage to spare, this dog will fill that space with exactly what it was bred to do. The reason everyone ignores the American Foxhound is simple. They're rare, they're not marketed, and the pet industry has zero incentive to promote a dog you barely need to spend money on. That's exactly why this breed sits at number 1. If you made it all the way to the end, you've just learned something most people never will. The cheapest, healthiest, most rewarding dogs aren't the ones the industry pushes. They're the ones the industry forgot. Smash that like button if this changed how you think about picking your next dog. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. Team American Foxhound? Team Retired Greyhound? Team Rat Terrier? I read every comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'd love to have you on this journey with us. Remember, sometimes the best dog isn't at the breeder with the longest wait list. Sometimes it's at the shelter down the street, waiting for you to walk in and take it home.